Hello, and welcome to our Priority Registration and Advising workshop for the College of Science. This workshop is intended to help you understand the priority registration process, as well as some common errors or issues that we see within priority registration. As always, we want you to continue to consult with your academic advisor, so please use this workshop in conjunction with the advice and wisdom from your advisors. Today, you're going to hear a couple different voices, so I want to take a second and introduce you to those voices that you'll hear. My name is Rachel Ridlin, and I'm a Senior Academic Advisor for the Neuroscience and Cognitive Science program. You'll also be hearing from Robin Rarick, the Senior Director of Academic Advising within the College of Science, Shauna Madison, the Senior Academic Advisor for Geosciences, Lori Varecka, the Assistant Director for the Math Center, and Megan Cunnington, Senior Academic Advisor for the program in Ecology and Evolutionary Biology. Priority registration and advising is a window of time where current U of A students meet with their academic advisors to plan and enroll for next semester's courses. You'll want to meet with your advisor to discuss the classes that you're taking now and which classes are recommended for next semester. You'll receive an enrollment appointment in UAccess, and that will be your first time to enroll in classes. Priority registration and advising times are based on your current class standing or classification, such as freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Here, you can see how your classification is based on the number of units you've earned so far. For instance, to be considered a sophomore under this policy, you must have earned at least 30 units. To be a senior, you must have earned at least 90 units. Keep in mind that this does not include the classes that you are currently enrolled in because they are not complete. Because the number of units completed can come from U of A classes, transfer credit, test credit, there is a cutoff date by which all credit you want considered for your class standing must be in our system and processed. Your academic advisor can share this cutoff date with you. Based on your class standing, and in conjunction with certain priority groups, your actual enrollment appointment will be determined and entered into UAccess. This will be available for viewing on March 23rd. According to this process, the first group to get enrollment access begins on April 6th at 6 a.m. This group includes athletes, veterans, GI Bill recipients and their dependents, foster care scholarship students, and honors seniors and juniors. On April 9th at 6 a.m., official seniors, honors sophomores, and honors freshmen will begin to enroll for classes. Next are the official juniors on April 13th, the sophomores on April 16th, and then the freshmen on April 20th. To check for your official class standing, you can navigate to the My Academics tab in your UAccess account. Here, you'll find your official college or program information, including your major and minor if you've declared one. You'll also see your current classification, which was mentioned here before, is based on the number of units you have earned to date. You can verify your enrollment appointment by logging into UAccess and looking toward the right side of the screen to the section for enrollment dates. In this example, our student was eligible to enroll for the spring 2020 term on November 15th, starting at 6 a.m. For fall 2020 enrollment, the enrollment appointments will populate in UAccess on March 23rd, so that's when you'll be able to see your date. Please note that your enrollment appointment is the first date you can enroll for classes, but you'll want to see your advisor for planning and putting desired courses into your shopping cart much sooner than that. Your advisor should have emailed you or posted their process for advising during priority registration. If you plan to enroll for summer classes, you may start to register for those on April 6th. To find out who your academic advisor is and who you should see for registration planning, please navigate to UAccess and check the far right column toward the bottom under Advisors. When you click on the Detail button, you'll see a list of advisors assigned to your specific majors and minors. They will have information on their location, how to contact them, and a link to schedule an appointment with them. Also, you can use our Trellis system to search for any advisor on campus. If you log into Trellis and then on the upper right hand side of the screen, there's an option to search for any advisor and you can see their schedules available on Trellis. Also, if you visit advising.arizona.edu, you can search the advising directory. So if you're looking for a particular advisor in a particular major or minor, you can find their information through that advising.arizona.edu webpage. Also, please note that some departments will limit who they see during priority registration in terms of major changes. Every department should be able to at least give you classes to take for the next semester, but they may not be able to meet with you until after priority registration to change their major. Each individual department will be able to tell you whether or not they're currently seeing new students.
Students can prepare for priority registration by checking their academic advisement report in UAccess. Check your major checklists and consult the Fall 2020 course list in the class search system. Be sure to check your prerequisites. Meet with your academic advisor, and I recommend loading your shopping cart with the courses you plan to take prior to meeting with your academic advisor. That way, your academic advisor can view your anticipated enrollments prior to meeting with you. Be sure to check the notices and holds that are posted on your UAccess Student Home Center page. We don't want anything to prevent you from registering for your classes, such as bursar, campus health, immunization, mandatory advising, and final transcript verification holds. You can find your academic advisement report in UAccess by clicking on the drop-down menu on your home page, selecting the advisement report, and clicking on the little round button with the two right arrows. An alternative way to access your academic advisement report is by clicking on the My Academics tab in your UAccess Student Center and select the View My Advisement Report option. Please note on the right-hand side, your program information is listed in this section. If you ever need to make sure that you're declared in the correct major or minors, this is where you will find that information, as well as your classification, freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior status. There are two different ways to view your academic advisement report. One is a dynamic document as seen here on the left. If you'd like to view the alternative option, which is a PDF view, just select the green View Report as PDF button at the top of the page. In the dynamic interactive document, you'll see arrows that expand and collapse to indicate requirements that have been satisfied or not satisfied. This allows you to easily see which areas of your degree are complete. The closed tabs indicate the requirement has been completed with a course you have previously taken or a course you're currently enrolled in. Please remember, if you drop the class that is fulfilling this requirement, then the requirement will revert to not satisfied, and you will need to take an alternative option or retake the current course in a future semester to fulfill the requirement. Open tabs indicate requirements that have not been satisfied. Options for satisfying that particular requirement are shown here in the table. Note, the Tier 2 Individuals in Society requirement has not been satisfied, and there is a table of options available to search through. The description for each of those individual course options is a hyperlink to the class search system where you can view more information about the individual class, specifically prerequisites, a course description, the dates and times the course is offered, as well as whether the class is open, closed, restricted, or perhaps it's not even being offered in this given semester. Please note in the bottom right corner of the table, there are over 100 options to view as alternatives for fulfilling this Tier 2 individual's requirement. Be sure to toggle between the left and the right arrow to view all possible options. The PDF view is a static document. You can download this to your own computer if you'd like to refer to it at another time without logging into UAccess. This document tracks your GPAs, your majors, minors, total units, as well as your units in residence. You'll notice on the left-hand side that your major and minors are listed along with the actual GPA, which are courses that you have completed at the U of A, and it includes the unit requirements that you need to fulfill for your degree. If you scroll further down on your PDF view of your advisement report into the general education requirements, you can see an example like this one viewed here. The Tier 1 Individuals in Society has been satisfied, as shown with the black satisfied designation. You can also see the course that is fulfilling that particular requirement. As seen here, the course was taken in fall 2012. It was a history AP exam. Transfer credits can fulfill your requirements, and you can view the transfer credit. You'll know it's a transfer credit by looking at the grade column. It'll have a T for transfer and then the grade that you earned. Keep in mind that transferred credit grades do not count toward your U of A GPA or major GPA. You'll notice the Tier 2 Individuals in Society requirement here has not been satisfied, as indicated by the bright red not satisfied. There are many courses that fulfill this requirement, which can be seen under the courses available. There's a long list of course options here, and as you'll remember from a previous slide, there are likely more than 100 options for fulfilling this requirement, so this may not be a comprehensive list.
Now that we've taken a look at your advisement report, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to search for classes. There are two big ways to search for classes using UAccess. On the right-hand side of the screen, you have that orangish yellowish button that says search for classes, or you can choose enroll, which you can see the red arrow pointing towards in this example. Everything that we're about to do is from the enroll link. We're going to go ahead and take a look at your shopping cart. As advisors, we're a really big fan of the shopping cart because it allows you to search for classes and then load them into this sort of portal where you can hold on to them to see when they're open, if they close, things like that. This is a great place to kind of gather a bunch of classes to be able to enroll. So in this example, you'll see that you have the spring 2020 dates, but make sure that you're looking for the fall of 2020. We want to be really cognizant of those enrollment dates. Also, we usually recommend that you put more classes in your shopping cart than you actually need because classes close as we go through the priority registration process. So, if you're looking at adding Math 263, for example, put 2 or 3 sections of Math 263 in your shopping cart because if one closes, then you still have the other options to be able to view. Also, we've learned about an app called U Agenda that sends you notifications when classes are open or closed, so you might consider looking into that as well. So from the shopping cart screen, you can choose the search option to begin to search for your classes. This is what the actual class search page looks like. So there are a couple things that we want to take a look at here. So we want to make sure we're looking at the right term. Right now, everything is defaulting to the fall of 2020. If you're looking for summer classes, then you're going to want to change that. Then we also want to make a note of the subject area. So when you're searching for classes, you really want to make sure that you're looking at the right subject area. There are some classes that are not available to main campus students and subtopics that are not taught on this campus. So make sure that you're looking at the right subject area. If you want to search for gen eds, you can literally type in the box that's circled 150, 160, or 170 and then leave everything else blank. If you look a little bit lower on the screen, you can see the course attribute value. You can also search for general education classes through that portal. The show This is step 2 of 3. So as soon as you put all of your classes into your shopping cart, it's going to look something like this. You're going to see that button, proceed to step 2 of 3. There's a couple things that we want to consider when we're looking at this. So one of them is your building locations. So we encourage you to look at the dates and the times of your classes and then the location of the building. You may want to consult with a map of the university because we don't want you to be taking classes. Now, after step 2 of 3, we get to this screen, which is finish enrolling. So we want to take a look at a couple of things here. One is that final column in the table below. So if you see a green circle, that means your classes are open and you should be able to enroll. You can see what the other designations are: open with requirements. Maybe you need a prerequisite to get in the class. A class is closed, it's completely full, you are not permitted to enroll. Or a class is accepting students onto a wait list. You'll be able to know that by looking at this page. So again, this comes right after the 2 of 3. Once you click Finish Enrolling, you'll be able to see either a green check mark, which indicates you are successfully able to enroll in the class, or a red X, which indicates you are not able to enroll in the class. So it's very important that you go through with this step because if you do not, you're not enrolled in classes. Also, you want to make sure that you're not doing this before your allotted enrollment time because you're going to just get errors. You're going to say your appointment is not valid at this point. So you want to make sure that you are enrolling during your enrollment time.
Suppose you get an error message. What should you do? If you aren't sure why you can't enroll, your advisor can help you troubleshoot, but please send them a screenshot of the error message when you ask for assistance. There are a number of common reasons why UAccess may not allow you to enroll. You may have a time conflict with another class in your schedule. If the classes overlap at all, UAccess will not allow the enrollment. Check for other available times. The class might already be full. In some cases, there may be a waitlist option. If not, you could try choosing another class, or you can wait and continue checking for open seats. Some classes require consent. Others may have a prerequisite or co-requisite. If consent is required for a class, you might not see this information unless you view the full course details in the schedule. Click on the course section link to see the screen shown here. Please remember that this consent comes from the instructor or department offering the course, not necessarily from your advisor or your major department. You can find departmental contact information in the catalog. Main campus students may choose to enroll in I-courses, which are taught entirely online. Please note that there is a $50 fee for enrolling in an I-course. There are also many courses on campus that are designed as hybrid courses. This means that they include a mixture of online instruction and in-person meeting times. There are a number of different sessions in which classes may be scheduled. As you can see here for spring 2020, you may have classes that meet for the full semester, in a 7-week session, or in a 5-week session. The shorter session classes contain the same content as the regular term classes, so they are accelerated. Please keep this in mind if you choose any of them. Note that there are also courses that have dates that do not fit into one of these sessions. These are known as dynamically dated courses. Math 122A is an example. For every class you choose, you are responsible for knowing the meeting dates as well as the deadlines for drops, withdrawals, and so on.
We understand that sometimes students need to take a break from school. What's really nice is we essentially have a leave of absence program called Back to UA. You qualify for Back to UA if you were registered in the semester right before you're leaving, you have a cumulative GPA of at least a 2.0, all of your accounts are paid in full, aka you don't owe a balance or anything like that, no financial aid issues on your account, and you have no pending disciplinary action. So that would mean a hold from Dean of Students as an example. As long as basically your account's in good standing, then you qualify for Back to UA. So basically you can take a year break as long as you meet all these criteria. When you're interested in returning, you can basically just set up an appointment with your academic advisor and they'll lift a mandatory advising hold on your account. It's mainly there to make sure that we touch base, reminder to get back in touch with financial aid and things like that. But you still get your priority registration. That's really nice. If you don't qualify for Back to UA, there's other options you can go through with your advisor as well. If you're below a 2.0, there's criteria you have to meet. If you're just gone for more than a year, you basically just have to reapply for the university. If you do have a scholarship, there is something called a scholarship deferment that you can apply for. And for specific questions on what might be involved in that, you can contact the Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid. Speaking of scholarships and financial aid, there's some general criteria that we want to make sure everyone is aware of. So there's a few different criteria points. First, it's important to note that full-time enrollment is 12 units. This is a financial aid rule. It's very important to note that if you come in as a student and you don't have any AP dual enrollment credit, a lot of people don't, and you take 12 units over the course of your 8 semesters, that isn't 120 units. You need 15 units over 8 semesters to reach 120 units. So that's very important. A lot of the scholarships here at the U of A do have scholarship renewal criteria. You can look up that criteria on the Office of Scholarships and Financial Aid website, and they should send you reminders at least once an academic year and let you know what those renewal criteria are. For most of the scholarships, it's typically 30 units per academic year here at the U of A with a 3.0 cumulative GPA. And they do check typically at the end of the spring session. However, if you're at the end of your spring term and let's say you've only earned 27 units over the year, you can enroll in a summer course here at the U of A, and they'll defer review of that scholarship until after your summer course ends. So they'll look at it again basically in August, right before we're coming back for class. It's important to note that only U of A units count towards your scholarship here at the U of A, as transfer courses also don't count towards your GPA. So if you want to take that course at Pima over summer, you wouldn't be able to do that for a scholarship. You could take it for other reasons if you still wanted to, but that's not what we would recommend. The academic year is typically fall to spring or summer if you enroll in a summer course. So for a 2019-2020 scholarship, it would have begun in fall 2019. The winter 2019 term counts towards that scholarship, the spring 2020, and the summer 2020 term. So a fall 2020 scholarship begins the 2021 academic year. We have at the bottom of the slide contact info for the financial aid office, and specifically ask for scholarships when you're speaking with them. Generally speaking, advisors aren't very knowledgeable beyond what's posted on U of A website, so if you want to know how your scholarship information pertains to you specifically, make sure that you follow up with the scholarship office. And just a few reminders for priority registration. So when you're enrolling, just a reminder that priority registration is your priority date to enroll in courses in the subsequent semester. So make sure, first of all, that you check your enrollment date. You might say, oh, I'm a junior, but maybe you're going to be a junior at the end of this semester. That means that you're currently a sophomore. So you want to make sure that your enrollment date is correct. Maybe, pleasantly surprised, you didn't realize that you're already a sophomore standing as a freshman because you have 30 units from AP or dual enrollment credit contributing to your class standing as an undergraduate student. So you might actually be enrolling earlier, so you want to make sure that you utilize that earlier registration date for yourself. Make sure that you have an appointment scheduled with your academic advisor or that you've already met with them. Keep in mind that if you want to try and meet with them the day you enroll, that isn't going to work. You want to meet with them at minimum a week before your enrollment date so that you can wake up bright and early at 6 a.m. on your actual registration date. I recommend trying to look for an appointment at least 2 to 3 weeks out before your registration date because this is a busy time of year for advisors, so appointments fill up very, very quickly. Make sure that you make a plan for your courses for the next semester so that you know what you're doing. You don't want to log on at 6 a.m. when you're trying to plan. We also recommend preloading courses into your shopping cart. So what you could do, for example, is get a lot of courses in your shopping cart the day before you enroll, the evening before, or the morning of if you're especially an early bird. And then that way in the morning when it's time to actually enroll, what you can do is you can just check all the boxes, click next, and you've done all the planning. That way when it's 6 a.m., you're probably tired. You don't have to go through actually planning the schedule. We recommend this especially for lower classmen because there's more lower classmen, so the system is slower. Especially for freshmen, U-Access is not as fast as it normally is because everyone is logging on at 6 a.m. So you have thousands of people using it when they normally aren't, so it's significantly slower. So just going from one screen to the next can result in a delay for a few minutes. So you want to be mindful of that, and that's why preloading saves you so much time. So when I was an undergraduate myself, that's what I would do. I would preload everything in my shopping cart, click enroll, take a few minutes to enroll in things, and then I was good to go hopefully by 6:15 if I was lucky, sometimes 6:30. Another thing you can do in your shopping cart is also program in several backups. So if there's multiple sections of Math 122B at the same time that you like in different locations that work for you, you can put all those in your shopping cart. Maybe there's 3 different times for Math 122B that work in your shopping cart. You can put all those in there, and then that way if it fills up while you're trying to enroll in it, instead of going back to the search, entering the course, looking through the options, clicking on it, getting it into your shopping cart, going back to the shopping cart. You can eliminate all of that the day before by putting those courses in your shopping cart. Again, it's going to be slower when you're doing that, so that's why you want to utilize that time beforehand when you have a little bit more time. If you have any questions, we have an email address, science@arizona.edu, where you can send generic questions. Otherwise, remember, your academic advisor's contact information is located in your UAccess Student Center. There's those blue boxes on the right. There's one near the bottom that should say your academic advisor's contact info. You can click the details button next to the arrow to get more information, and from there, you can see your advisor's link to schedule appointments. You can see their phone number, and you can see their email address. So if you have any questions, give them a call, shoot them an email. They'll be available to help you out.